Thank you, Sumit and Ashish. And good evening once again, ladies and gentlemen. We're here to talk about India's future and whether the future is in solar energy. And Preeti, thank you so much for your time today to enlighten us whether we can really make it when it comes to solar power. Can we?
It's an interesting question. I think the question to ask is not that can we. I think the question to ask is that we must. We must. We think about our trade deficit, which is actually as a result of an import bill, which essentially keeps us in the negative for the most part. You think about the declining cost of technology, which is coming down at the rate of knots in solar as well as in storage. You think about India and its rise as a consumption superpower, since we are talking about millions of people with the youngest demographic dividend, able to in fact move towards the renewable tech aspect. And finally, you talk about the pollution outside. I think the question answers in itself, we must. I guess if we solve for the consumption through solar power in every home in this country, we will solve the trade deficit. If we solve the trade deficit, I think we will define India's destiny.
But Preeti, your company is doing such interesting work, and I want you to at some point highlight that for our audiences here as well. The question is residential rooftop solar just a headline, or do you see that as a reality in every Indian home soon?
That's interesting. Everybody in the audience, you're all living in homes. Please raise your hand if you live in a home.
Yes.
How many of you have thought about solar lately? All right, around 30-40%. How many of you would love to buy solar if you knew that your payback is 2 to 4 years? Excellent. That's roughly 40 to 60% of the room. I think the answer is right here. India's rooftop solar paradigm is not a statement, it's a reality, and it's up to you to participate, the consumers. Luminous, as a consumer energy fulfillment company, is making sure that you have the solutions that get you that payback. So lean into it, get solar, and help the Pradhan Mantri achieve his vision and help yourself have lower bills. And by the way, if you are thinking of an electric vehicle, are you thinking of buying an EV by any chance? Have you considered it lately? Are you tired of stopping at a petrol station and wish that you could actually come and charge the vehicle at home yourself? You are not. You like how to fill. So, if you think about these contexts, this is what we are. Energy adoption is a choice we make. The power is actually in your hands, the consumers of India. And we have a fair few. And it's very unusual for a company and a country to have policy intersect with technology and the consumer dividend at the same time. India, ladies and gentlemen, in solar power is making consumer energy tech industry. Do not miss the evolution. Sure as hell, do not miss the revolution. It's your money to save.
A huge round of applause. That itself is inspiring. But Preeti, the consumer's also confused. There is electric, which is taking up in such a big way. Then there is solar, there's wind, there's hydrogen, there's now nuclear as well. What is the most sustainable option when it comes to energy fulfillment? For 38 years, we have been serving home energy and small business consumers in the energy tech space as Luminous. Here's what we've learned about Indians. And please tell me if I'm wrong. What we've learned is that we love affordability. Yes.
We like accessibility.
Yes.
And we sure as hell love availability.
Yes.
We want the same thing to get to Ladakh as it goes to Jharkhand, as it goes to Rajasthan, as it goes to Amethi, as it goes to Karnataka, as it goes to Manipur, right? If we want that, then we have to think about which technology can actually offer that. Solar has lowered the cost of technology, and the beauty of solar is, guess what?
It's free of cost.
True, very much. But here's the best thing. The sun is likely to come up every day. It is going to come out every day. India has 300 sunny days. सूर्य भगवान स्वयं हम पे वर्षा कर रहे हैं एनर्जी की. अब इसको तो यूज कर लो. But
what are the challenges say solar versus wind, hydrogen, etc., why would solar win other than the fact that, it is available in abundance? What are the challenges with a wind or electric or any other?
Yeah, so look, I mean, I kind of think about these as energy sources, right? As is petrol an energy source, so is renewables an energy source. And renewables, you think about solar and wind, or nuclear for that matter. When any country thinks about its energy mix, it should think about what is abundantly available. So sun is abundantly available in India, that's one tick, right? Second thing is wind. Wind is intermittent. I always say sun will come out most of the days, but wind is moody.
Yeah.
It's moody. Sometimes it's on, sometimes it's off, which in technical terms we would say it's intermittent. And therefore difficult to predict that can I give you a qualified amount of kilowatt hours so that you can run your life the way you choose to. That when your Mataji is watching, the best soap opera she loves, and she wants to watch it with the air conditioning on a hot sunny day, and your child wants to play video games in the next door room, as well as, you are working from home and there is a Wi-Fi router, and all this load has to run with 4 air conditioners because also Chachaji's family is visiting. Solar can do all of that, and guess what solar can also do is store the surplus energy. Imagine a day when you are not at home, you are going for a foreign holiday, and the only person back at home is your household help. Solar is producing energy, it's doing what it needs to do, and what it can do. It can be paired with a battery. By the way, Indians have been using batteries in the home for longer than it was trendy in California. Because we've had power backup challenges. So we've been using batteries. Solar can be paired with batteries, so you can use your excess solar and you can store it. And one day, when you come home and you realize that the battery solution is smart enough that it can also tell you that I've already got energy, would you like to charge your EV car? And this is what we talk about global capability centers and technology. The shift is when you really start to pair the tech together, then it becomes an amazing solution. It expands with your life. It's about you, not about the technology.
But Preeti, tell me, we are already 1 million powered homes when it comes to rooftop solar. And please correct me if my numbers are wrong here. But can rooftop solar sort of ever move the needle the way perhaps utility scale solar does?
I think it's very interesting. Both have a role to play. As you know that I used to live in Australia. All those who probably don't know, just to share a fun fact about Australia, it's the deepest solar penetration country, I think, in the world. 1 in 3 homes have solar today. Australia only has 9 million homes. And a little bit growth since I left, which was 4 years ago. So what we've seen is that there is, whenever a country makes a transition or something to learn from that transition is, one is that when you put impetus into an industry and you provide consumer choice, consumer decides. So now we are in that phase where the consumers are deciding. They're deciding and they will continue to adopt. And we've seen that adoption always happens as the cost of technology lowers. And we are witnessing that in Luminous as well. I mean, just to give you a simple example, just guess how many grid-tied solar inverters we are connecting every day. Minimum that I can actually see in a network operations center. Take a guess in the audience. Every 10 minutes, we connect an inverter in India.
Wow.
Every 10 minutes. And if you come to my office, I'll show you the screen. Yeah. By the way, this inverter is made in India for Indians, for Indian power grid conditions. Completely made in India in a factory in Baddi. India's largest inverter manufacturing plant, if I may.
The other thing, of course, Preeti, also is, can India truly call itself energy self-reliant when nearly 80% of solar equipment is still imported? Or, while there are companies which are trying to make in India, but still a lot of it is imported equipment still.
I think where we are in this industry and in this journey of the Prime Minister and perhaps India's evolution is, I'll kind of sum it by 3 Ds. Number 1 is the destiny effect. What's the destination India wants to be at? We want to be more in control of what we decide. So we have to build an industrial ecosystem. We have to build an industry. And we can't always be saying, oh, we will never reach that scale. The second piece, the second D, I think, is drive. Drive to actually leapfrog technology. We have the advantage of learning from China and not making the mistakes of California or not making the mistakes of Australia. This is a great advantage to have. So what do we want to do about it? Maybe companies should think about being not just assembly manufacturers, but actually technology providers for application products for home consumers. Nothing stops us from innovation. The drive for innovation comes from pushing ourselves to the best benchmarks. The third piece, I think, is determination, which, by the way, I don't see any dearth of in India. It's time for India to say, I have a seat at the table, I'm making an investment, we have a range of options, and I will create every strategic option that makes India meet with Jai Shankar's Bharat. And I always say this as a global Indian, Bharat in the inside and India for the world. That's exactly how we have to do our technology and product manufacturing. Bharat on the inside and India for the world.
Absolutely. But since you talk about the outside, that, brings me to how you navigate the geoeconomics of it all. And then you have a power like China that you're also dealing with, which has dominance in, say, polysilicon, the wafers. Mm-hmm. Do you think that's India's largest vulnerability when it comes to the entire supply chain dynamics of solar power?
I'm a realist in life, so yes, it's a vulnerability. Lithium-ion is also a vulnerability, but it's also an opportunity. And here's how I think about it. If someone has de-risked a certain piece of technology, then the decision for India is how far do we want to go and what does it actually offer? Or we could do the other thing. We could say we want to be the best and made in India power electronics or battery storage driven offers which actually make a difference in the application. We want to layer the software power we have in making products for energy tech. For example, I'm just saying. So it's a choice that you make when you are not the first mover in the technology curve. India has the luxury to decide how far it wants to go. The second thing I think I will say is there is no reason to rely on only one type of, say, battery storage technology. Today itself, in India, we would say that we are a fast-moving energy goods company, and we sell something like 3.6 million batteries a year. These are tall tubular batteries which actually can store power for Indians at a very affordable cost rate with recycled materials being used, and Indians have been using it for in excess of 60 years. I don't know, how many people have luminous batteries at their home? Inverter battery. Chal rahi hai na? Chal rahi hai. So what's the problem? If the solution that works for our country's captive audience can be expanded, you can take it to the next technological level, why shouldn't we? We are doing this for ages. Get better at what you do. And then adopt the new for the circumstances and for the power conditions. If lithium-ion works well more in fast discharge and charge variations, probably is better suited for commercial and industrial setups of large data center scales. But maybe there is an in-between technology. So I guess the challenge is back to the industrial innovators. And I say innovators, not just followers. To build more products that can actually meet that need so that you don't have that reliance. So I would say India's race for being a technology or a consumer-focused energy tech country is on. And time will tell the result.
But tell me, Luminous was acquired by Schneider Electric, a French company, and Luminous is now 100% subsidiary. What did they see in Luminous and the opportunity that India has?
Actually, Schneider Electric has been in India for, I think, more than 60 years. Yes. So they have seen a lot in India, and there's a large amount of investment Schneider Electric as a group has made. In particular, in Luminous, they saw the answer for energy transition. And I think they saw it ages ago, in 2011. And they started to bring to it what they could. And again, I will stress the point of Bharat inside, India outside. They were able to bring the culmination of interesting technologies which may suit. The added advantage of being a global company is that they can bring technological advances to Luminous as a subsidiary, and they can be adapted for Indian conditions. And I think what they saw was that they really wanted to play an impactful role through a Make in India company with an Indian-loved brand and back it into greater success. And I hope with all the consumers who use our products, you feel that way.
But tell me, why does solar cost the way it does still in India?
Look, solar has come down in cost quite a bit. We do have some margin of operational excellence yet to be achieved. I would say only left perhaps in the cell manufacturing side. And many groups have gotten better and better over years. It's a new as fast as possible, but a 2 to 4 year payback is the lowest in the world. And then also a consumer or an industrial rice mill or a I don't think you get that on your washing machine.
As you look forward, say 5 years from now, and what should the affordability also be?
Oh, well, I mean, if I had a crystal ball. I think 2025 alone has seen 10 gigawatts of residential roof. Megawatt hours being generated. So when I think home, can you imagine? And then मेरे क्यों नहीं लगे होया? Then another 5 million will come. Of demand that's coming from our consumers. You will affect the pollution in a very positive way. That inverter and a backup inverter all in one. इंडिया में 2-in-1 बनाना ही पड़ता है कि नहीं? Hybrid inverter, right? Hybrid inverter can be paired with a battery bank. About it. I will give you 3 C's. Consumer wins, number 1. You decide how you live life. The second C is you decide whether and you can make a choice. I don't know how many of you have kids going to school. They'll be saying to you, na, Papa shower band karo. Teacher ne bola hai ki ye zyada der nahi chalana chahiye. Water is a very expensive resource in the future. You will be able to make those changes. So I say consumer wins. Consumers got more control. And finally, consumer as a climate warrior. It's your choice.
Wow. That's really thought-provoking. But so 5 years from now, India will be a solar superpower, you think? Or still be a very large solar buyer?
Look, the facts are as follows. After US, China, India is already the third largest solar power producer. So it's running fast. So I think what I will say is this. We will be significant. But it is up to this consumer participation and adoption to once again say, do we define our destiny, or destiny defeats us at the doorstep of the energy revolution? The choice, my friends, belongs to Indians, to the Indian consumers.
On that question, while you mull what energy source you want to choose, Preeti, thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for
Thank you very
giving
much.
us this insight into whether India can be a solar superpower or not. I'm sure we're going to get there very soon.
Thank you.
Thank you.